Hey everybody, I'm tired. Number 109 in the Criterion collection is The Scarlet Empress from the United States, directed by Josef von Sternberg in 1934. I'm going to move the microphone real quick. It was just a little off center to what I wanted. This movie is about the rise of Catherine the Great. It is a movie about Russia, set in Russia, but made by the United States. Nobody has a Russian accent. But as we've learned in the Criterion Collection in the past 109 movies, if it's about Russia, it has to be a historical drama. Those are the rules. And that's what this is. Although I don't know. I don't know enough about Russian history to like affirm the validity of all of it, but I do when the subtitles or the interstitial cards, which are cards that come up in between scenes to give you some plot exposition, which is much more common. It's a holdover from the silent film era, where they couldn't talk, so they would throw up these interstitial cards to be like, and then she went to Russia. And for a while, those still held. We don't use them much today. But anyway, the interstitial cards say things like, she's going to Russia where all of the men were cowards and tyrants and everybody's lives were miserable. And when I start seeing things like that, I do wonder about the validity because clearly there's a bias. Because I feel like if you ask the Russian people at that time, they might not say that all of us are cowards and tyrants and we're all miserable, right? Or maybe they would. I don't know. But I do get suspicious, especially when it's one culture making a movie about another culture and trash talking it the whole time. Anyway, it is Marlene Dietrich, who was a very famous actress, one of the top names in the 30s. And she plays Catherine the Great. From being a young pampered princess to being engaged to, by all accounts, just an awful, terrible man who hated her to deposing him and ruling Russia herself. The movie implies but doesn't overtly insist that she basically seduced her way through the male population in order to recruit an army to overthrow him. It refers to the army as one of her conquests, and that's about as much as we get of that. And I'll say this, I haven't seen a lot of Marlene Dietrich. I've seen her in some movies. I will stand by the actor Peter Lorre is the actor who is the very best at looking shocked and surprised. Nobody looks surprised like Peter Lorre. I will now state for the rest of my life, nobody looks confused like Marlene Dietrich. She is the best at just looking utterly bewildered. She's very good at it. Overall, the film was good. I liked it. I doubt its historical accuracy because of how one-sided the account seems. But it is a perfectly decent movie. If you want a historical drama about the rise of Catherine the Great, this is a good one. It's a well-made film. The director does a very good job. And the performances are great. The guy playing her husband really, from the first moment you see him, really sells the idea that he is inbred to the point that he is just a dangerous child. And he does that performance very well. He spends the entire performance with a weird, creepy smile on his face that I am not going to attempt to replicate for you. It is a very good performance. The matriarch, who passes away at some point because, I guess, spoilers, also does a very good job. She's kind of channeling a Dame Judi Dench vibe. Yeah, it's a good time. So add it to the list of Russian historical. I do look forward to seeing a Russian film that is not historical drama, just because the kinds of movies that a culture makes can tell you a lot about the culture. I would love to see their take on a fantasy or a sci-fi or a comedy or a rom-com. I would love to see how that worked rather than just telling their own history. But the fact that all we're getting is historical dramas might be telling us something about them too. Next up, starting with number 110, is a trilogy of French films by the same director. So next time will be Monsieur Hulot's Holiday by Jacques Tati, directed from France from 1953. So get ready for me to struggle to pronounce a lot of things for a little while. Then we go to Italy, and then we come back to America, and then we go back to France. So we'll get to play my favorite game 3 times in a row. Does this film have an ending? We'll find out together. I will see you there. Thank you for being a part of this journey. I appreciate all of you.